Hey everyone, it's Clint Tucker, guitar trainer and coach. It's Fretwork Friday, volume 13. We're going to be going over a couple of cool little bends and ideas that you can use for G7 and a couple other ones. First, let's go ahead and tune. Here's my 6th string. Here is my A string. Here's 4D. G, 2B, and 1E. The gear I'm using today is my PRS DC 245 Ted McCarty. Absolutely love this with soap bar pickups. And I am running through Scuff'em S Gear, just a digital software amp. But man, does it sound awesome. This is the tweed setting. This is like a deluxe cranked into slight breakup. Now, if I just roll down the volume a little bit, it cleans up really nice, just like a tube amp. Alright, so the bends that I was using at the beginning, these are going to be coming out of our G7, C7, and D7 shapes. We've been in this G7 idea all month, and we're going to stay with it till the end of April. Then we'll move to a new key. And what we're actually doing this bend from is we're doing it from the flat 7, which is the F. Now, before I go any further, I want to make sure that you understand what the G7 scale actually is. The G7 scale is C major started from a G note. That's all it is. So, the G7 scale is G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So if the key of C starts with C, that would be number 1. Now let's just use our fingers and count. C, D, E, F, G. That's number 5, which means that G7 acts as the 5 chord of C major. What this also helps us do is when we start with a G note, we start on number 5 in our alphabet. So we would go 5, that's the G string open, 5, A is 6, B is 7, C is 1. I know, right? We're doing G7, but really we're doing the alphabet of C major. D is 2, E is 3, and then the half step in the major scale is between 3 and 4. So there's 3 to 4, there's your F, and then back to 5. So G major is G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp G. G7 is G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And the reason why is because G is number 5 in the key of C. I know that can be kind of confusing, but the more you get used to what the 7th chord, the dominant 7th chord sounds like, that usually takes place at the 5th note in the scale. So G7 is really going to be C major played from a G note. Now we have a shape that goes with that chord. This shape, in this case, is going to be modeled over the D7 shape. Now, a lot of people play it like this, which is 3-2, 2-1, and 1-2, which is your A, C, and F sharp. And the D is open. But what we're going to do is we're going to change it to these 3 fingers And we're going to place our finger behind the nut right here to take the place of an imaginary fret. Now we're going to go D7, D sharp 7, E7, F7, F sharp 7, and G7. Now we're in the 5th fret, 7th fret, 6th fret, and 7th fret. That's your G, D, F, B. So that little bend is going to come off of this shape. So what we're going to do is we're going to anchor the B note, and we're going to that's on the 7th fret of the E string, and we're going to take the F on the B string, 6th fret, and we're going to bend it a full step up while we anchor the B. Now it may look like I'm trying to give you guys the bird, but I'm not. This just makes it a little easier for me when I keep this one free. So you start to hear that. Like right now it sounds kind of like almost dissonant or funky. As soon as I do this, now you're hearing that G to B. Your biggest challenge is going to be anchoring this note. And I have to really watch myself and make sure that I'm not trying to pull up with that ring finger and keep it anchored and centered. One of the strategies you can use is slightly pull down as the other one pulls up. And that should give you a little bit of a evening balance. Now, if this lick represents the letter G, like a G7, that means if I move it up 2 frets, you have an A7. If I move that up 2 more frets, I have a B7. And then if I go up 1 more fret, there's our C7. You gotta be really careful with that ring finger. Some people like to use these two, but I just can't do it. I'll pull up too much. Might even use your pinky. I still pull up a little bit with that one too. That's already a little bit better for me. Now, one of the things that you'll notice is by doing these bends, you're going to wear out your fingers a little bit. So you got to give yourself a little bit of a break when you're doing that. So what I can do is I can practice doing this shape right here, then the bend. That way I know that it's going with this shape, and then the bend. Now let's put this bend into a lick. Well, we have a great lick that we can use. We can take the lick that we did last week, and go check out last week's video, volume 12, if you don't know what I'm talking about. We can do this lick right here starting off. Then we can go into that guy, or we can just bypass this one and go right into that. What if we just actually don't even worry about going back down here? We just do this. Yeah, I think that'll work. I like that. So what we're doing is we're doing this bend. Then we're using our first finger to play that F. going back half a step to E. So then we're going to hit our G on the 8th fret, 6th fret, 5th fret, then our D, 3rd string, 7th fret, C, 3rd, 5th, our A sharp on the 8th fret of the D string, slide to the B. You can maybe use that in a lot of different contexts of like the duration you would hold this. So one of the big things you got to practice with this is you got to make sure that when you're working on this that your intonation's right. And I still have to work with that depending on which guitar I'm using. When I'm doing my telly, when I'm doing these on my telly, it's a little bit easier. This is a little fatter, round neck, so I have to work with my hands a little differently. But that's exactly what you're going to do. And then from here, we can maybe go like we did last week, or the one before that. Maybe go into that. Well, that's kind of cool. So let's try this one, okay? We're going to do a bend on the 10th fret, B string. So we're taking the A to a B. Then we're going to put that pinky underneath on the D string, or the D note on the E string, 10th fret. Then we'll come back down. 8, slide to 6. Then do our funky bend. Sounds kind of cool. I'll work that finger out like crazy. Alright, so when you get good at this, start practicing it in like a blues progression. That way you can practice it like in a song form. G7, right? So you just take this shape. G, A, B, C. There's, like, say we're in G blues, there's the 4 chord. So now you can have your C right there. That's the 11th fret and the 12th fret on the B and E string. Bending the 11th all the way up a full step and keeping the 12th anchored. Then take that C7 shape and then do the D7. Now you're on 13 on the B string and 14 anchoring on the E string. Gotta watch that intonation. So I'd really practice trying to make sure that that doesn't pull up too much. Yeah, you can hear me struggle with it, and that's fine. When you try to do it really slow, you'll notice that you'll want to pull that up. You want to practice this kind of fast. That way you get the idea of it, and then you get out of it. So there you go. That's a good idea that you can use. How to practice this stuff, exactly what I was talking about. Make the shape, then practice the bend, and then play the shape. That way you're connecting the shape with the chord, and then the lick that'll go with that chord and shape. And you start to practice that. You say G7 goes with the shape. When you practice the C7, That goes with the shape. C7. When you do the D7. And that'll help you get more and more comfortable with it. Then the next step is to try to connect a lick that you already know into that bend. And now you actually get to where you can start to chain together a couple of ideas to where you can put this into some kind of line, and now you know where you can use it, and then you can practice it in different rhythms. Practice it with like a bluesy vibe. Practice it with like a country thing. Practice it with like a rock thing. And then you can really start to find different things that will connect those tonalities to other ideas from other songs that you've already played and you already know pretty well. And just start to put it in your vocabulary. This stuff will naturally start coming out of your playing and instinctively somewhere around in between year 1 and year 2 if you're practicing it every day. Because, I mean, you got to think about all the muscle memory that needs to take place. But you got to do it enough to where it actually starts to sound in your mind before you even put it on your fingers. You need to be able to hear it before you play it. That's the idea. You need to be able to see it before you even get your fingers there. Okay, so this is all I have for you guys today. I really hope that you get some good use out of these bends and these ideas. If you would, go ahead and like and subscribe. Follow me on Facebook. Go to cwtucker.com and click the booking tab if you want to do a lesson with me. I do in person and virtual. And click the notification bell so you get notifications anytime that I upload anything. And thank you so much for spending some time with me today. And I hope you have a blessed weekend. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.